I've read and watched all of Jujutsu Kaisen, and here is why you should be watching it. Clearly it is top tier, but why? We'll start with the animation. Poor animation is definitely a deal breaker for a lot of people, and with anime, it speaks to the quality of the series when the animation is good. But for Jujutsu, and why I think it deserves all its high ratings, is that the animation is good even when it doesn't matter. Because for shonen anime, the fight scenes will be flashy and animated with quality, so we look to the scenes in between. When a character is just walking around or sitting at a bench, those scenes don't need to be animated well, but when they are, you can only imagine how good the climactic scenes will be. The fight scenes are of course done very nicely, lots of close hand-to-hand combat, fast-paced movement throughout various environments. It's really easy to get immersed in the action. One of my favorite things about Jujutsu fight scenes is how we are able to feel the impact of their punches. Well-placed impact frames, sound effects, and music all add to this effect. The fight scenes also aren't drawn out. It's short and sweet, but keeps them impactful. A lot of the time when I'm watching the episodes, the time will just fly by, and before I realize it, the end credits are playing. A lot of the time, the fights will have two acts, where the fight escalates in the second half. They start in one area with quick exchanges, and then the fight moves on to another area, where the stakes are higher and the scope of the battle largens. Now, as much as I've given praise to the anime, I don't think it is revolutionary in what it does. My appeal in Jujutsu comes from how it's able to do everything with such a high standard. It's enough to keep you interested in between fight scenes, and that's where I think the real strength from Jujutsu comes from. Who doesn't love a well choreographed and well animated fight scene? The problem with some anime is that in between two legendary fight scenes, there might be the most boring and brain-numbing filler, but in Jujutsu Kaisen, they'll throw you a bit of mystery and thriller, while keeping the show generally light-hearted and comedic. This dynamic in how the show is able to entertain us makes it feel as though it's worth our time, and makes it all the more enjoyable to watch. Even with that said, we still see the other side of characters and their emotions from time to time. I think it greatly helps that all of the Jujutsu characters are likable and important in the story. Normally there may be a few annoying or truly despicable characters in movies and TV shows, but Jujutsu has done a very good job in making it so that even the villains are likable, and sometimes we even root for them. It feels as though we see the heroes and villains often in the anime, but we rarely see them using their abilities and going all out. It's like they're reserved for when it matters. For example, Gojo and Sukuna. It's said many times that they are the strongest, each holding an era-defining strength. One of them alone could easily wipe out humanity, and we even get to see them fight whenever at full strength. It's exciting to see how it will play out, both in the plot and how it's animated when we get to see a true Gojo vs Sukuna battle. A downside of Jujutsu Kaisen is that you could argue the power system is a bit flimsy and not explained enough. Based on what we know, the characters can easily channel the power of friendship whenever they need to defeat their foes. And even though they sort of have done this once or twice, it feels deserved and fits the plot. I think part of why we let it slide is that we mostly see the characters holding back, so when they do go all out, it's not something that isn't possible at the time. Additionally, I think I speak for everyone that has watched or read Jujutsu Kaisen when I say this, and that we're all hoping for the story to build to another climax and ultimately another fight scene. Simply put, Jujutsu Kaisen does everything well. The animation of the series is just right, movement is swift and impactful, the show is never boring and is never filler. It's all relevant and leading to the next big scene. Nothing stands out as obviously bad, and so we can just sit back and enjoy the show. I'll take Jujutsu Kaisen any day of the week. Some people may say it's one-dimensional, it's just a fighting simulator, but I'd argue it has so much more to offer. It's just that what it does best is setting up all the pieces for an epic fight and delivering. It feels as though with each fight, the stakes are higher, and with that, the production and level of animation gets better too. If there was ever a time to start watching Jujutsu Kaisen, it's now. One of the most anticipated arcs in all of anime starts airing at the end of this month. I hope you've enjoyed the video and subscribe to support me. Thanks for watching.